Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and look who I have with me today, Val from Dragonfly Crystals and Next Level Channeling. Hi, Val.
Hi, Sun Psychic Jean. Thank you for having me on. I enjoy it so much. I'm going to
I
use the full
appreciate.
title because you're like the princess, or no,
Oh,
the queen, the empress of all things spiritual on your channel.
oh,
I love what you do. So that's my love for you, and
oh.
yeah, happy to be here.
That
Yeah.
is so very sweet of you to say, and I do appreciate that because I feel like this persona of Sun Psychic G. When I say I am I somebody had said to me, "You sound like you're saying I am Iron Man." I'm like, "Well, I am I am Sun
It
Psychic
is
G,"
true, and
and
I
I keep
identified you as such. It is that beautiful. It's really that very strong and powerful goddess energy out there, giving divine wisdom, and that's what you're doing. I love it so much.
It
Yeah,
it is my it is my way of letting my spirit guides
yeah,
and angels know that this is my time and I'm ready and I'm putting like this suit on. I'm putting this suit on like Iron Man, but I'm not saying I'm Iron Man. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying I feel like I slip into this persona or this resonance, and
yeah.
it's really it's a tool for me. It's an additional aid to be Sun Psychic Jean. I always like to be referred to as Sun Psychic Jean.
No,
Because when
I
I'm here
love
doing this, that's who
it.
I am.
Vibrates at a certain rate. It holds all this energy and information within it, and everything that means to you is vibrating out. So yeah, there's power, big power in that. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
saying. So, everybody, we're going to be talking a little bit about Ascension today, and I hope everybody liked the thumbnail. On the thumbnail, I have the 3D Earth and the 5D Earth, and we are moving in the frequency and the vibration. And I feel it sort of like crescendoing and then relaxing, crescendoing and then relaxing. And some of these things we can also relate to like the moon cycles or the astrological cycles or the astrological placements. And it's just that the energy is becoming a little more palpable, a little more like we can feel it come like being in the flow. It's more tangible. How about
Yeah.
you, Val?
Yeah, I feel that, yeah, the energies definitely are not as subtle as they used to be. They're hitting a lot more powerful with more intensity. I'll say it like that. And I myself I've not been sleeping that much at night for some reason, and you know, it is creating a feeling inside of me, like angst is not the right word for it, but there's an anticipation, and even anticipation isn't the right word. There's a knowing that this intensity is building, it's building, and we are going to have some big, um,
Event.
yes, you bet, because, yeah, absolutely. So that my feeling is, even in my temperament, even in my husband's temperament, and whether that it's the astrological alignments or whatever it is, this energy is creating that feeling inside of you that is a little bit, um, it is a little bit combative on one hand, and it's a little bit, I've got myself in this fifth dimensional energy, and that's where I want to be. But something inside of us is coming up that has a little bit of that intensity to be let go of. And I think that's why people like my husband in particular, we have this little, there's a little bit of combative thing element, even though we don't engage, we just laugh at it later. You feel it. And I think that inside of us, that is part of us that has to let go of that because it's not necessary anymore. And so it's coming up as a mirror in our partner and so forth. back and forth. And we just got to let it go. That's my.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And we can feel the sensitivity. We can feel the intensity. We can feel
Yeah.
just the change within us, like
Mhm.
I feel also drawn to meditating and working with my energy centers, and really the intensity with just doing that
Yeah.
has really strong, it just is a little bit more intense. I'm trying to find of a different word, but it's more impactful, and it feels like it's closer. You know how they say the veil is thinning? It just feels like when we call our spirit guides and angels and we work on running the energy through our chakras and doing some, healing meditations, these things really feel a lot more tangible, a lot more accessible, and a lot more fluid in this world. And I'm not sure if they are coming down to us, or if my energy or my frequency and sensitivity is coming up and being more aware of it.
I think that it's definitely us becoming more aware, because they have the ability to be right with us at all times, at any time, and they always have ascended masters and whoever our guides and angels are. But I feel like we are now experiencing that connection in a way, and with more clarity and depth than we ever have before,
Mm-hmm.
because they are here to guide us through this. And I don't know about you, Jean, but I've certainly been having a lot of information coming in from my guides about this energy and this, how to allow yourself to open completely. I mean, that's what this is all about. You're remembering and you're embodying more of your light, your divine source light that you are. And finally, they just said to me, they said, "Be it." So, so as you're imagine, I think I've said this on one of the other shows we did, but it bears repeating that when and this is a super powerful thing. So pay a little bit of attention to it, because it's huge. And that is that since you don't reside in this body in whole, only a fractal is projecting down into this vehicle, into this holographic universe, even if you believe it is or isn't. It is like this little program we run here. This is 3D Earth. So changing right now. So imagine your energy body, the full energy body of you that is your soul. Imagine it on a screen in front of you, or outside the matrix where it is. And then imagine that as you in this vehicle right now. Just this, imagine yourself as a big ball of energy in this form. Just picture yourself as full light, and hold that for as long as you can, even throughout the day. You'll come in and out of it remembering to see yourself as that. But I can promise you that in 2 seconds of doing that, you're going to feel the power of your divine source self. And this is what my guides meant about be it. Embody that light. What is embody? That's just a switch in consciousness. Oh, I'm putting my awareness on. I am that consciousness, that Christ consciousness, that soul self. And that is you embodying it, picturing it, being it. So, not that I'm successful all the time, because I'm not. But
No, it's that is a really good suggestion. And during the meditations becoming stronger and stronger, I feel that I think that I heard somewhere somebody say that the goal is to that when we're at 5D, that we're working on trying to bring heaven here on earth, because that higher vibrational, that higher perspective, that love, light, unity consciousness is what we're going to be vibrating at. And that's what everybody says heaven is. So they want us to try and, instead of all of us perishing, going to the other side, coming back to a 3D earth again and reincarnating on a 3D earth and going through this again, They say we are all here now vibrating at a certain frequency. Enough light workers and star seeds are here as humanity vibrating at this higher frequency so that we can help Gaia. Gaia is the one who is ascending. We are part of the earth. We are not we are not here we are the earth, we are Gaia, we are part of the ecosystem. We are not living on earth, we are the earth. And that's a big concept that I hope that
It-
doesn't sound really
and
wild, but we really are part of the consciousness. Like you can't survive without any food or nourishment. Well, not can't, but we are part of the earth. We come of the earth. We're made of a carbon base. We are the earth. And when a Gaia's frequency raises and she moves through her ascension, instead of forcing us off her back and leading us perishing or having destruction and getting rid of all of humanity. Us, if we have this vibration, if we have this frequency, while Gaia is ascending to that higher frequency, to that new dimension, we can move to that new dimension with Gaia. Just like the thumbnail that I showed you, and there's enough of us here now, and we are already beginning the process of the transformation into this new dimension.
we definitely are. Absolutely, we are. And the concept that we are everything, because everything is that divine source energy, everything is that God source, everything, planets, galaxies, stars, whatever you're going to point at, rocks, every single thing. And as everything is connected and everything resides within every cell of our body. In that same concept, the microcosm is the macrocosm. Everything is within us, every single thing. That's why we need to treat, not need, but it would behoove us to treat each other with wonderful kindness, because essentially you are me and I am you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's there'll be different requirements, I feel. And I feel like some of the first signs for me will be telepathy. I've been pulled to telepathy for about 2 or 3 years now to try and practice telepathy. And it's to allow the ego to step out of the way and to feel the vibration. And when I'm with your loved ones on the other side, that
Mhm.
is more of a clairsentience, but it's
Yeah.
also a telepathy if they want to send you a message. I feel it, but
Mhm.
telepathy is picking up on others' messages. It's not reading your mind, it's communicating through your mind.
And
Nobody has access to my mind, but they can access what my communication to them is.
yes, and I totally agree with you. And that is a huge thing that is a sign that you're really in these energies shifting. And it's been a lot of years, but my husband and I have always had that telepathy. And I think it, he says it, I think it, we're getting each other's thoughts, and it happens a lot. And we're very tuned into that. But this is happening whether you're practicing spirituality or not. My husband is one of those people. He's a Pisces, yeah, it's a spiritually oriented sign, but he's not into any of this. But he has moon in Aquarius, so he's very like humanitarian. But he's having all these experiences. I mean, he believes in pretty much everything we're talking about, but he doesn't practice it or do anything. He's not meditating. And yet we have all these experiences that happen, and he'll have precognitive dreams. It's happening to all of us. It doesn't matter whether we actually sit down and om in the morning or not. So, yeah, I think it's really a beautiful thing that with the telepathy, and it's one of the big signs because we are evolving into that telepathic kind of connection. And what does that do? That means that we are giving up the idea that we're separate.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge concept of fifth dimensional energies, and that universal feeling of being in the body of everyone else, or being realizing that when you walk down the street and see someone, that's you kind of concept. Or animals, or anyone, it doesn't matter, planets. Feeling the heart of Mother Earth and feeling that sentience. Absolutely, it is all part of us. So, your consciousness created it.
I love that you said fifth dimensional energies, because I feel as though that's going to be a lot more sort of, instead of the veil is thinning, it's going to be fifth dimension. Oh, that's fifth dimensional energies coming in. And I just felt like that was very much like a buzzword. But I felt like I was just thinking of another thing. Let me just when
I'll
sorry.
just say this while you're thinking about that. We touched on time before, how one of the symptoms of this fifth dimensional energy, or even fourth dimension up to fifth dimension, because we go through that. We're practicing in fourth until we get to fifth. And back and forth, we slide through all the dimensions every day. But that time morphing, the time slippage, the time stuff, in and out of time, is all part of that process. So you'll have times like that. It doesn't mean that it's going on all the time, but you'll have those experiences come into your awareness, so you can go, oh, it's real. It's happening. So
Yep. And I remembered what I wanted to tell you, because I was going ahead of myself. But when you were talking about the fifth dimensional energies, you were also talking about that telepathy, that we were all one unity. And the spirit guides and the answers that I receive from a lot of your questions often educate me. And somebody asked me to see if I knew anything about the ant people, and like a galactic race or something. I don't know. So I said, well, I've never tried. And I said, let me see what I can get. So I asked my spirit guides to provide information about the ant people. And it was very profound for me. The first thing that came through is they corrected me. They say, we are not ant people, we are ant beings. Because people is human. And we always try and put a human kind of a spin on things, but they're ant beings. And when they were, oh, she'll come right back. And when they were ant beings, they were a hive mind ant being. And each one of them were individuals, yet they all spoke in unity. They all had a hive mind. They all spoke as a collective. And in that collective, they were speaking in unison, because they all agreed. They all had this one common message to send to us. Yet they were individual. They had individual personalities, but they were all one consciousness. And this is what they say humanity is moving into, the one consciousness. Hi, Val.
sorry.
I mean, that's okay. So what I was saying is that the ant people, I don't know if you heard me say, the ant people said ant beings, and that they were a collective consciousness. They were a hive mind. They had the same consciousness, but they were individual beings. And they had a unified consciousness. And this is what I feel that humanity is moving into, this unified consciousness, because we are all one being, but we're individuals, and we will be individuals, and we will live our lives as individuals, but we will have a consciousness, knowing that you are me and I am you, and we are one consciousness working together in unity towards a common goal. And none of this egoic sort of separate,
Me,
controls. Yes.
the me people. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I think that is the evolution of humanity, and I think that's the only way in which we would evolve to have that truth, more truth. The truth is we're one. The truth coming, and more higher vibrational truth is revealed. We're going to be in that connection as one because that's the truth. so, so we're evolving into more and more of what we can handle as far as now. I know I was watching somebody last night talking about the expansion and truth of, say, I know this seems like it's unrelated, but it is related. The disclosure of the of you know, extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings that are here, and basically the the worry is from whoever the powers that be are, is that that would blow up our minds so much in expanded awareness that some people who are not ready to receive that information would really create so much chaos in their minds and create more chaos in the world by just their thoughts and what is going on in the chaos in their mind. So imagine, I don't know if it would be 40% of the planet if they were resonating at that chaos level, and what that would do for the collective. It would not be necessarily the thing we want to have happen. I think that's what they're trying to say. So we are evolving into that connectedness. And you know how we meditate and send light around the world or connect to everybody and do a meditation worldwide? All of that is where we're headed, to that unity consciousness. And so those big things that might expand our awareness have to be done delicately, so that it doesn't throw the balance off as far as the higher vibration, if that makes sense. That made sense to me when I heard it last night.
Yeah, and I also have the understanding that these densities, the 3D and 5D, are also seen as realms. They say it'll still be here,
Yeah,
it'll still be Earth, it'll be in a different frequency. And
yeah.
they say that there are interdimensional beings that are here on Earth with us, but they're in a different frequency, they're in a different realm. And I
And we
think that
don't,
this is how
yeah.
they can come in and out and be cloaked and watch over us and not be seen. And they say that that the those of us in humanity that are aware and um, ready for this ascension, this transition to the next dimension, we will go there seamlessly, and we
Mm,
will have all of our family and pets around us. But there will be some that will have this, everything is free will. They will have this denial, they will have this resistance to understanding, believing, and it's okay because they will stay on the 3D earth until the end of their days, until their natural death. And then when they cross over, they'll join us into the higher 5D dimension. Eventually, everybody will move, but it's
mhm.
really important when Gaia is ascending that we ascend with her this time. I feel, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but this has been attempted before, but has not been able to complete because of the vibration. But there's so many light workers on the planet in the last 50 years or
Yeah.
so that have been working on ley lines, working on vibrational vortexes, and
Mhm.
helping Gaia to ascend. And it's just so beautiful that it was a community effort, or that it is a community effort. So
It's
is that
true.
how
Yeah.
you understand it, Val?
Yeah, absolutely. I really feel like um, the tipping point, which was supposed to be like, I don't know what the tipping point was in numbers of light workers and people that were not even conscious of what was going on. We never reached that before. It was attempted. We got to this place and couldn't do it. And this is the first time we are now, they say we are past the tipping point, and we are. That's why we're having all this chaotic energy as coming to the light, coming to the surface, and it's going to have nowhere to go but to dissolve in many ways. And I don't know how many years, Earth years, it might take for that to whittle down, but it is happening, as you can see and feel, if you don't go into the fear of things that are going on in the world. But so yeah, we now are at that place where this is happening. It is on schedule, and it is the first time we've gotten to this point where we will be awake and enlightened, or shall we say embodying our light, embodying our soul self, our energy form, and in our physical body at the same time. We will eventually evolve to an energy form, but not in the beginning.
Fascinating. I've gotten that too. The crystalline. We're moving. The molecular structure of our physical containers will be adjust. In fact, they are adjusting, and
Yeah.
I find that fascinating that you just said that. And they also say that that is the last generation. That the new kids coming in, the new kids on the block, the new kids coming in, the new babies, the new humanity that are being born, they're being born already with this ascension in place, or the awareness, or the frequency. Whereas the so whoever is left behind, that would be the last generation. And it's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad. It's really important that we stay above that judgmental type of tendencies that our egos sometimes have. Everybody has free will. Everybody has a purpose in their lifetime to play out a certain role here in this world. We have a certain role to play out as light workers. They have a certain role to play out as the last of that density, so
Yeah.
we all, it's really important that we try and stay above that judgmental, because that's a lower vibration, that we love everyone and support everyone, and that it all is here for a reason.
Yeah, and another view, I love that, Jean, and another view of that judgmental mind, the ego mind that does that, is to say you are judging a part of yourself, because everyone is a mirror to you. And so what you want to do is look within yourself and see where it is that something is out of alignment with that light, because that's what's showing you. It's showing you as a demonstration. Ooh, I want to judge them. Oh, what is it? What is it in me that doesn't line up? So everything is really showing you yourself. It's showing you yourself. So that's why it's best to stay neutral and not go to the polarities. Stay in the observation mode and just stay as connected to divine source as you can. And that is that light that shines inside of you. And even if you want to imagine the great central sun, or whatever you want to imagine, just light flowing down, white light from the cosmos, filling your body with that light. However you want to create that light inside of you, you are that light already. It's just us getting into that frame of reference. And when you're thinking at that, though, Jean, when you're in that conscious stuff, you can't think of anything else. It's the only thing you can concentrate on, is imagining yourself being that light, being that light, being that light. Your next thought is, I'm being that light. So you can't go to your ego mind. You can't do judgments. You can't do anything. So it's like living an Om. I mean, eventually you can hold two consciousnesses where you are able to speak and hold that image. So what were you going to say, Jean?
Well, with the judgment, and it's not that. And I wanted to ask you, because I hear people say, well, doesn't that mean that you don't care if we're not like going in there and being, judgmental, like and it's really part of our ego. Do you want to speak to that?
Yes. The idea of neutrality or in observation mode doesn't mean you don't have that universal love, but that who loves you, baby love is that lower level kind of ego mind love where you love somebody's looks or you love, it isn't that kind of love. When you have agape love or you love from the soul, you are loving the spiritual essence of every single being because it's all you. It's all a mirror to you. So that when you love on that level, everyone, every individuated soul of you is here doing their own thing. Allow them that. That is their journey. They have chosen that. Give them their power. Don't take their power away by diminishing their lesson or what they're here to experience. For you are now going above here, seeing, oh, it's just we're here. They're players on the stage, like Shakespeare said. We're experiencing the story and we're seeing the contrast between bliss and betrayal, jealousy, envy, all the ego mind stuff, so that we can transcend and be, oh, but that's not me. That story is just a story. That's not me. That's our final end game for this Earth School. And so being triggered or being in observation mode, triggering pulls you into the drama. If somebody does something, being triggered, it could be the trigger of feeling like, oh, poor thing. Well, that's a very low vibrational love or feeling, because loving some spiritual essence sees the whole person of what they're there to discover. Don't take their lesson away or don't diminish who they are. They're standing there to be standing in their power. That is their lesson to learn. And they are this powerful being. They are a powerful being, no matter what they've come into to experience. So on the surface, it might look one way, but you are going to realize as you gain a broader perspective, the big picture, you're not going to be pulled in by the drama, and you're going to stay in your observation mode. What does that mean? You're in your soul self. You're at peace. You're at one. You're at bliss with all that is. And so that's your world. That's your vibration. And everyone who comes into your center of gravity is going to go, love that, being in that vibration or that light. And
anything that pulls us down, like what I'm thinking of is those those sad dogs, and that song somewhere, I don't know, that song that comes on the TV, and those poor children or those poor dogs, and they look all sad.
I turn that off.
That's and everybody says, oh, I can't do that. I can't, I can't, it hurts my heart. It's a manipulation. It's a
Thank you.
manipulation, and it's an egoic emotional manipulation, and it's a lower vibrational manipulation. If we love one another, and I had one of the best lessons that I am so grateful for was from somebody who tormented me and was absolutely the worst. Some of the most stress I've ever dealt with at a job. This woman was a chronic liar, and was a manipulator, and she would lie right through her teeth. She would say, "It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's a red flag," and then she would say, "I told you it was white," and we're like, "You just said red." And I mean,
That's
like
a narcissist, folks.
in the same sentence.
Narcissist.
I mean, and she was so.
Yeah.
I was, and she was my supervisor, and I was listening to a book, a Buddhist book, on tape on the way to work, because I was dealing with it, and they said to love your enemies. And I went, what? Love my enemies? And they said, for they teach you how strong you are.
Yes.
They teach you how
They do.
compassionate you might be
They
to
do.
them, and understand what it might have been that made them that way, and it has nothing to do with you. That's their journey, that's their pain. You don't have to be sucked into that. And I gained so much strength, I gained so much perspective, and I had so much compassion for her that when I left there, I didn't carry that with me. And I did carry the lesson, though, and that's the difference.
Absolutely. And that's exactly, I love what how you shifted that. And when I was younger and I was going to 3D work, and I had a boss that was a little bit like that in some ways. And all I did is say, okay, Earth game, I'm going to play these, I'm going to shift my consciousness, and I'm going to have my consciousness be, I am really good at what I do. I am not triggered. I'm not going to get triggered by anything. And I mean, you could get triggered by fear, the fear of losing your job. It could be anything. Oh my God, what's going to happen now, kind of thing. So I pulled myself back into neutral, and I would go into work, and I would totally be neutral, so that they would come up to me and they couldn't even, it's like in the energy of that space, they couldn't come at me with anything. It disappeared. And they became, then they went to another company and wanted to bring me along. That's how much I shifted it. So the shifting of remaining neutral, not being triggered, just exactly as you experienced, Jean. From another side, it can be a game. From your side, you really went deep in and said, love thy enemy, because thy enemy actually is you. It is that mirror of you. It doesn't matter whether you believe that it's you or not. It is that mirror to show you everything in front of you. And the minute you don't press it away, or you don't push it away, but you embrace it and you pull it to you, boom, you're done. You did it. You transmuted it. Boom.
Yep. And it was a part of myself that I didn't love. It was a
Yeah.
part of myself that I was judging. It was a part of myself that I needed to accept. It was a
Yeah.
part of myself that was judged by others.
I
And
love
as soon as I released that resistance and changed to compassion, and let down my guard, I was, I didn't condone her behavior, but I didn't judge it or condemn it. I had compassion for it and understanding, a
Exactly.
new perspective. But that was a part of me that I was resisting. And
Yeah.
when we have these things show up in our lives that are holy hell, and can you believe they did that to me? And can you believe they treat me this way? Well, it's a part of you that you are not accepting, that you are not believing, that you are resisting, that you are not loving.
What you resist persists. What you resist persists. Bring it to you. Hold it close. Understand it, absorb it, take it in, and transcend it. No matter what that experience is, no matter how painful you think it is, or whatever's going on, or just do that, and it's just gonna transcend, boom, like that. Yeah.
It's not easy to understand that concept of loving something that is absolutely a trigger for you and the main source of all your stress. It really isn't,
Because
but
you want to blame, the 3D mind wants to blame, shame, judge, blah, 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 blah. But the game is everyone's showing you something about yourself. So if that is the truth of it, then you have to get out of anything that makes you assign your power to somebody else.
Yep.
I'm going to assign this to you, and you're going to do this to me. No, folks, you're the power. You're
Brilliant.
the power. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Somebody once said to me in a they said, they steal my joy. I said, nobody can steal your joy. You're giving it to them.
Thank you. Thank you. And just like no one can hurt you unless you give them the permission slip to do so. Or, I mean, you really want to understand you are a sovereign being here, and that everything is your projection, your conscious mind creation. So if that is true, what do you want your reality to be? And in those little moments, like at work or at the grocery store or wherever that is, be very present, paying attention to how you are energetically. No, get out of the judgment trap. Those are all those ego mind feeling, the lower feeling stuff is just a trap.
It's
a
an
trap.
opportunity for a lesson for us to learn that it's only us in a different form, that it's only us that we're resisting. It's only us that we don't have compassion for. It's a part of us.
Yeah,
And
and you
it's so hard. It's so hard.
it is
It's not
hard, but
it's not giving anybody the pass to behave a certain way. It's understanding that the way that they behave is due to a certain journey that they are on, and that they need to um, that it has nothing to do with you. It is
yeah,
their own energy, their own journey. It doesn't, and the moment you know that it doesn't have anything to do with you, they don't, that connection, that cord, that energetic charge that you have,
yeah,
that you
yeah.
say, oh, that lady, she did that again. It has
Suddenly
nothing
it
to
goes
do with you.
away. It dissipates, and you don't have that same charge anymore with them. But you know how you might have been a jealous person in your younger years. You might have been married one time, and there might have been so many times you were triggered by jealousy, real, whether deserved or not. You just had that. And maybe you got divorced, and then you got into all these different relationships, and you had those triggers. But then you suddenly noticed, well, I don't have to be around somebody that feels like they're doing it on purpose, triggering you on purpose or whatever. And then you go through another evolution that says, oh, I am giving my power away to that person, saying I am not worthy. You know what? I am worthy. I am so worthy. And if I am not treated according to my energy that I am flowing out, that isn't a relationship for me. So suddenly you evolve up the food chain and you see the true worth and value of you isn't in those lower ego things. And that's the evolution. That's the evolution. And that is the lesson of these things that you go through. But you'll be in an endless loop of pulling in people who trigger your jealousy till you embrace that and understand. It's just that kind of thing. I just
And
use it
this is
as
part of the 5D, or the fifth dimensional energy. I want to write that down because it sounded like a buzzword. Fifth dimensional energy. This is part of that. Us
yes,
being aware
yes,
of the energies around us, and aware of the souls playing out their own lessons.
yeah,
And our awareness, the more we are aware and we can live within this awareness, in this neutrality, this is us vibrating at a different vibration frequency. And when we are vibrating and not judging other people, we are ascending to the fifth dimension. This is what it is. And believe me, life happens and the car breaks down and you go right back down to the 3D. But then we bring
yeah,
ourselves up and say,
yes,
thank you, car, for breaking down. It allowed me to have more time with my children, or whatever this is. We raise up and understand that everything is happening for us, not to us. And
absolutely.
this is like that victim mentality, or that there's the it's all here to help us learn the lesson. And the quicker we can see that lesson and raise to this vibrational frequency, the quicker we'll move through it, move out of it, and move on to the next. And it really is, it's not simple, it's not easy, but it is Actually, it is. It is simple, but it's not easy. It's
You know why it's not easy, everyone? Because you actually have to not be a little bit asleep. You know how we go on autopilot? I'm driving to work. I'm at work. I'm just half asleep. You've got to wake up. And every step you take, you're taking that step. You're walking in. Be in your consciousness. Be aware. Feel the energy of the room. You have to be awake behind your eyes and be there, present for all of this to work. You can't just be asleep and then wait for the triggering moment. No, you've got to be awake. It's not easy to be awake. It isn't easy because it's easy to just put on a YouTube thing and just veg out. I mean, I can do that too. But if we're really being aware, we're being in that energy form, imagining we are that consciousness already. And that's the trick. But pretty soon you'll be entrained to do that. You'll remember to do that.
Mhm. And
So,
having like aids around. If you have a little crystal that you can hold on
yeah.
to, or you can have a little reminder that says you are the source, or I am you, just a little I am you, a little note you write down, and when you look in your purse, I am you. Oh, okay. Like it's a little reminder. These little
Oh,
tools.
that's brilliant. Those cues, put it on your mirror, put it on your car window, whatever you need to do, wherever you go, in your purse. I love that. I love that.
And you'll
It's a good
start
thing.
realizing that you're not beeping and getting angry at the person that cut you off. You'd be like, benevolent soul,
Exactly. Exactly. Uh,
Yeah.
and
And
it's for your highest good. And what is that? That's not selfish. It's for your highest good, which is for the highest good of humanity, because you are all beings. The more each being elevates their frequency, the more it elevates the whole. So everything we're talking about is like a service to humanity. So yeah,
yeah.
Karen, hug yourself daily.
Aw.
That's cute.
So through these things, with this, these little tips and tricks and scenarios that we're trying to illustrate here for you, there's the energies are definitely for real, and it's important for us to take good care of ourselves, and spiritually, energetically, and physically, with the sleep, with the hydration, with the diet, the very very clean diet. And I'm not saying change anything. Maybe you can add something, add something healthy, or add something that you don't normally have, and see if you feel a little bit better. I have to tell you, I don't condone this, and I'm not advertising this, but I've been doing celery juice in the morning. And it's
Ooh.
I actually add a little lemon to mine because it just tastes more refreshing.
Mhm.
But I run it through a high-speed blender, all celery and a little bit of lemon juice,
Mhm.
from a real lemon, and I run it through a high-speed blender, and then I have a nut bag to make nut milk, and then I
Mhm.
squeeze out all the celery because I don't have a real juicer. I
Mhm.
squeeze out all the celery, and I take that juice and I drink it, and it's very nourishing, it's very healing, it's very restorative, and it's great for your skin, it's great for,
Mhm.
but I feel the vitality and the
Oh,
change and my energy. So these, you find something for you that feels good, whether you sit in a salt bath room, or
mhm.
whether you do a singing bowl meditation. I'm actually doing a meditation later on this evening with Daphne and Stacy, and it's for the autumnal equinox,
Ooh.
and it's going to be very, very high vibrational. I'll see if I can put the link
I'm
in the
gonna have
chat for
to
everybody.
check on I'm gonna have to tune in on that one.
Yeah, yeah. And these things are, taking good care of our physical bodies, of our physicalness, of our physical spirit, well, physical spirit, but our energy,
Yeah.
whether that's in our physical body or our spiritual bodies. Um, but I think that that's all that I have today right now. What do you, and also you can take a class, and Val, I love that you have all, I know that it's hard work. I know that it's really hard work. And Val, I know that you're going to be taking a little hiatus for a few weeks, and then you'll be back and your classes will be starting up again. But
Yeah.
people can go there and start signing up now. They can do that.
They can do that. I have a form on the it's dragonflycrystals.store on the online the booking. You can go down toward the bottom of the page, and there's a form where you can tell me your email address and name and the classes you're interested in. And as soon as I get 5 or 6 people lined up, I will pick a date, and you'll be notified that the class is on and ready to be able to be booked. So yeah, go ahead and tell me what you're interested in, and I'll let you know when I get
And
into the class.
I do have Val's links below. I just put the link in for the sound bath, and it's a meditation
Yeah.
sound bath for this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific. And it's sacredkikos.com/events. And I'll be helping them facilitate this event. So it's really going to be high vibrational. I have such amazing. I did one with them, and we did a flower essence meditation with the bowls, with the I call them singing bowls, but they're crystal bowls. And when we were doing the meditation and focusing on the flower and the flower's actual essence, and I was like, I wonder if I'm going to have dinner tonight, what I'm going to have, and I wonder what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I was actually, kind of listening but thinking, and then as as I was like kind of just my mind was wandering, I felt a presence. And when your eyes are closed and somebody
Yes,
walks in the
you
room,
do.
you can
You
feel a
do. You
presence.
feel it.
And
Yes.
it was the presence of the flower essence that we were
Oh,
focusing on. And
oh,
it
you
was behind
see
me,
the
and it
chills.
kind of like just snuck up in front of me and said, "Hi." Like, here I am. And I was like, and I knew I could feel the love, and they were like communing, and they loved that I was part of them, and that we were all together, and then we were all one. It was really so very
That
beautiful.
sounds like a very transcendental experience, like that would be the fifth dimensional kind of experience where you're becoming one with those flower essences. Yeah.
The love, and the
The love.
communion, the community, that
Yes.
welcome.
The unity. Yeah.
My heart, my soul, my essence, my energy
Yeah.
loves your energy.
Yes.
It was so basic, not basic, but drilled down to our purest essence.
Yes.
And this is what I met. It was just so transformative. And it's just amazing.
I
But this
love
one
that.
is going to be on the autumnal equinox, and we're going to be doing it through colors. We're going to be doing it through the color rays. It's really, it's, I put the link in there, and I have it on my Facebook. I have it on my Instagram, and I have it in the community tab as well.
Yeah.
But it is tonight, so I'm not sure when the cutoff is, but
Yeah.
it's in about an hour.
Okay, well, better let you get going.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
thank
thank you
you,
very much,
Diane
Val.
G.
And thank you everybody for being here, for being part of the conversation, for understanding. And I know some of these concepts are a little difficult, and I thank you very much for being here, for sharing your wisdom with us, and your feelings. I have been looking over and seeing your comments. Thank you very much for sharing. And maybe next time, Val, we'll work on doing a little bit more of a dialogue. But it's just so important,
Sure.
these concepts.
Yeah,
I
they really,
really, yeah, I really think it's wonderful.
I
But
think it is too.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And Val, will you be on at all this week coming up, or?
Yeah, the normal shows, and also I have a Dr. Gale show on.
Oh,
We do it once a month. I have it on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Catch me on that, and the regular shows. Sisters of the Mystical Tarot Messages for Lightworkers on Thursday, and yeah, then I'm off to the UK. Everyone.
okay. Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you again, Val, for all your time. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again.